What does GERD, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, mean for Ethiopia energy future, but also Africa at large? Last Sunday, we talked about how GERD is now finally complete. It is a project that stirred intense debate, especially with neighboring countries like Egypt, but also Sudan. But today, I want to shift gear a little bit. I want to go beyond geopolitics, right? Let's go for that, guys. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? My name is Tony. I'm the founder and CEO of Renewables in Africa. We raise awareness about renewables energy and sustainability. So if you're interested to break into Africa, we are your eco-bridge to this market, and we can help with visibility, with lead, but also deals. Or if you're looking to decarbonize, we are again your eco-bridge to sustainable pathway, and we can help with carbon footprint assessment and carbon reduction strategies. So any question regarding carbon, to reach out to us. So before I go on and discuss what does GERD mean for Ethiopia, but also Africa, let me just run a small video for you to have a better understanding of this project so that you will know exactly what we're talking about. Okay? Excellent. Let's go for that.
Ethiopia. Located on the Blue Nile, the dam is an extraordinary hydropower project for the future of Ethiopia. With its enormous production of renewable energy, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam can support Ethiopia's development in a sustainable way as the country works towards becoming carbon neutral. The GERD is definitely a record breaker. It's the biggest hydroelectric dam in Africa. It has an installed production capacity exceeding 5,000 megawatts that will allow it to produce an average of 16,000 gigawatt hours a year. The use of water, a renewable resource, for the dam's turbines helps avoid more than 2 million tons of CO2 emissions a year. Webuild designed and built the main dam in roller compacted concrete, 1,800 meters long and 170 meters high. The reservoir created by the dam can cover more than 1,800 square kilometers and hold 74 billion cubic meters of water. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam represents an enormous achievement for Webuild in the field of sustainability. It guarantees clean and inexpensive energy for millions of people.
Okay, that's obviously the video that you have from the company that actually built the dam, right? So, or this part of the dam, because I'm sure there's many other companies. Yeah, excellent. So it's a fantastic project. So let me just give you a quick recap if you were not able to gather all this information. Obviously, some of those details here probably will need to be updated a little bit. But in essence, GERD is Africa's largest hydropower, right? We talked about 6,450 megawatt capacity. That's huge, more than 6 gigawatts here. So it's built, as you know, on the Blue Nile, and this is a sense of national pride here, and that's why many Ethiopians are so happy about that, because it has been financed largely by Ethiopian himself, which is great, right? If you know a story about Ethiopia, it's a fantastic country, right? So this guy never been colonized, and at times they're taking hands in their own matter, and that's what you want to see. So in the last episode, so I talk about how tension stems over the fears of reduced water flow to Egypt and Sudan. But today, so I want to talk about GERD in a different lens. I want to look at energy. I want to look at opportunity. I want to look at development, because that's what we're talking about in here, right? So what is the vision for Ethiopia in here? So Ethiopia, first of all, you need to know it's one of the fastest growing population in Africa with a bold development plan. So we talk about more than 135 billion people in here, right? So the country with GERD basically is doubling its power penetration, moving towards university electricity access. Because Ethiopia now, I think it's about 3 gigawatts of power. So GERD alone is bringing 6 gigawatts. So you can see that GERD is bringing additional power. That's significant for them. And this energy, for me, is not just going to be lighting homes, but it's also going to be powering factories, irrigation system, schools, hospital. Could you see how tangible that becomes, right? So it, for me, position Ethiopia as an energy hub in the East Africa. And with the opportunity here now to export power to countries like Kenya, Sudan, Djibouti, right? And it's clearly I would say, an upgrade for the country in terms of what it can do. Because if you look at the information that's scrolling across here, so you know that only 48% of Ethiopia population has access to electricity right now, right? And with GERD, we now have the opportunity within 5 years to take it to beyond 80%, right? That's significant. That's, as I say, an upgrade for a country. And that is actually what you want to see, the impact that one single project, massive project, could have, right? Excellent. So this is the change that we're seeing for project of this magnitude. So in terms of industrial leap, it clearly supports as well the country, Ethiopia, shift from agriculture to manufacturing. You know, that has been a big ambition from Ethiopia already, attracting a lot of companies to use their local supply chain and building a manufacturing base. So definitely GERD is making it possible. So industrial park like Hawassa, so they need stable but also affordable power, and GERD can give it to them. Hydropower provides that. It's clean, it's abundant, and it's resilient. This is how practically we're demonstrating that renewable can power industrialization, contrary to what a lot of people seem to be saying. It has been doing that hydropower, for decades before, ever since independence, and it's doing it right now, as we could see. So exporting as well surplus power would bring much needed, foreign currency to the country. And that is important. Again, if you're looking at the information that I'm displaying here, so you will know that Ethiopia already earning more than $70 million, annually from energy exports. But we have the opportunity to clearly expand it a lot more, double that with GERD, fully online. Yeah. So that is actually what we want to see. But the beauty of having GERD, yeah, that is what you want to say. For me, it's not just about Ethiopia. Obviously, Ethiopia is a prime beneficiary, and they funded themselves. So kudos to them. But it goes beyond that. There's a ripple effect across the continent. And other countries are watching. You have GRC with Inga Free, and I talked about Inga Free here in the past. So they get a motivation that they need. Nigeria as with Mambila, that's not a big hydro project that is being developed. But many of these projects remain stalled. So maybe they can learn some lesson here from Ethiopia, taking GERD to completion. I know it's taking something like 11 years, 10 plus years for sure. But still, it has been done. Anyway, such a big project can only take time, right? Because it's very massive. Huh? So how could they learn from Ethiopia to make sure that they can take those projects to completion as well themselves? So GERD here shows value of national ownership, long-term commitment, and also regional ambition. It offers for me a blueprint for these other nations to tell them, listen, guys, you want to start with energy, and then you want to build that industry. That's what we need in the continent, right? And I also want you not to lose what also GERD is all about. It's also about that human story that we want to talk about. Now, GERD is not just about turbine or transmission line, but it's also about student being able to study at night. What a difference it could make for a country, right? It's also about clinics that you see being able to refrigerate vaccine. It's about entrepreneurs like you, like me, running their businesses, small workshop and so on and so forth. Power really unlocks possibility. And Ethiopia, they understood that and they betting big on that. And for that, I can say it's a great thing for the country. Now, as we're talking about that, what is next for Ethiopia? What would you say? So the focus for me shifting to transmission infrastructure, because don't leave power where it's been generated, take it where it's needed. So ensuring that local industry can absorb this power, they can avoid energy waste and also build smart policy. That's what we need. Obviously, there's always a lot of risk with such a project. Yeah. So you can have abundant electricity, but no productive demand. But I don't think that will be the case with Ethiopia looking at building a manufacturing base. So with planning, policy, and also regional trade deal, I believe that could be the next frontier for Ethiopia if they really want to embrace it. Yeah. So what could we say, Self, in conclusion here? We could say in conclusion that GERD really it's a spark. It's what Ethiopia built from here that really, according to me, will define its legacy. If it's honest well, right, this dam could represent a turning point for the country, not just for Ethiopia, but also for all Africa energy transition. And that for me is an exciting place to be in. And I'm hoping that they're going to really seize this opportunity, take it forward. For us at RIA, Renewables in Africa, more than happy to support the best we can. In fact, we help companies and countries navigate this transition, from carbon footprint assessment to energy strategy. So we are your partner in progress. So feel free, to explore as well our GPT. I leave that in comments so you know where you can go. Our own personal GPT, which can power your knowledge and serve as energy advisor. So I'll drop the link below, and you'll be able to see that. So definitely, I want you to be able to power Africa, next frontier, and I wanted to do it with you. So thank you guys, and I'm hoping that you're going to learn a lot from this magnificent project. I see you next time, and you have a great week. See you next time for Sunday Talk with Tony. Take care. Bye bye.